Hey guys, Barbara here. Conditional formatting will light your spreadsheets up like a Christmas tree. Let's get them lit. When you use conditional formatting on your spreadsheets, you are able to automate formatting to help you visually explore and analyze your data. This will help you to pick up any critical issues and identify patterns and trends. A conditional format will change the appearance of a cell based on the conditions that you specify. As you enter the data, that cell will automatically change color based on the conditions set for it. This is useful when you want high data entries to be automatically flagged or low data entries under a certain target to appear in red. Let's check it out.
Here we have an example of a timesheet. On the right-hand side, you will see a key and that each person has been allocated a color. The idea here is that each person will fill out the time that they can do, but they will each need to complete 6 slots. It is easiest to have this sort of slot allocation where you can see these colors visually. This is something that can be automated. Highlight the area you would like to add the conditional formatting to, and from the Format option on your menu, head to Conditional Formatting. A side panel will open. You will see the first option at the top is the range that you have selected. If you need to adjust the range, you can do that from here. The next option down is the Format Rules. You will see that you have a number of formatting options. This first section here is text-based formatting. You are able to specify that if a cell is empty, an action should take place. Or if it is not empty, if the text contains a specific word, then you can make it change to a certain color. Or if it does not contain a specific word. If the text starts with something, ends with something, or is exactly. We will continue to explore the other options in a bit. For now, let's just focus on text. In this case, each person adds in the first letter of their name, so we will use the option that text is exactly. We now have a cell where we can enter what the value is. Let's start with B. Notice how all of the B's have now been highlighted. Choose the color that B should be and change and then select Done. I will choose to add another rule and this time add in conditional formatting for A, and then continue for each one until every person has their name added and the associating color has been set. When we go and fill out this timesheet now, you will notice that as I add in each of the letters, they all change color automatically. You can apply this to full words like this sheet over here, for example. Here we have a column where we see those who have paid, not paid, or have pending payments. If we add conditional formatting to this column, we can specify that if paid is entered, then it must change to green. If pending is entered, it must change to yellow, and if not paid is entered, it must change to red. This highlights the areas of concern. A top tip from our mascot is if you want to use conditional formatting like this, the best way to eliminate human error for spelling variations is to add this type of data into the column using data validation. That way, you will get to specify what data is entered, and then your conditional formatting will always work. We have a video on validating data in Google Sheets, so be sure to check it out. I'm going to hide this column, and we are going to shift our focus to the next type of conditional formatting rule that you can apply. Here we have a column with data that specifies when an invoice has been sent. If we highlight that range, head to Format and down to Conditional Formatting, we will choose to see the date options. Here you can specify if the date is after, if the date is before. Let's set this up so that if the date is in January, then it goes to one color. If it is in February, it goes to another, and so forth until the end of the year. For this, we will use the option that the date is before. You will see that we now get another option. We can choose today, tomorrow, yesterday, in the past week, the past month, the past year, or an exact date. In order to specify that each month gets their own color, we will say the date is before, and then an exact date. Here, we will state that if the date is before the 31st of January, and then we will set the color to red. Notice that you have some additional text editing options here. You could also choose to make the text bold, italics, underline it, and change the font color. You don't always have to make the cell a color. When you select Done Now, you will see that change has already been made. If I change one of these dates, it will automatically go red as well. You can then continue this for each of the months of the year, and that data can be highlighted as such. Continuing on to the next section for numeric validation. Here you will see that you can choose that a number is greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, or is not equal to or is in between. This is useful if you have a grade book, for example, and you want to highlight certain grades to see which learners are achieving high marks, which learners are sitting at average, and which learners are underachieving. It can be a nice way to give you a quick visual of exactly where they're at and where your attention needs to be. Alternatively, you can use the robot method on income, where you can set that if a certain amount is received, it goes green. If it is between a certain amount, it will go yellow, and if it is below a certain amount, it will go red. Like this column over here, for example. If we choose that the data here is greater than or equal to, and we specify that this needs to be 4,000, then it will be green. Each time data is entered above 4,000, it will automatically go green. Then we can set that if it is between 2,000 and 4,000, it should go yellow, and anything below 2,000 should be marked as red. Adding this level of automation to your spreadsheets can really help you to take control of your data, and you'll have a much better chance of noticing things that need to be addressed.